Coming up on Naperville News 17, local perspectives on stricter gun control, a light display time to your car radio, and a local church spreads the gift of love. Hello everyone, I'm Jen Hannon. Thanks for joining us. Our top story, the recent tragedy in Newtown, Connecticut has renewed and intensified the debate concerning gun control. NCTV 17's Jordan Abudea explores both sides of the issue.
The conversation surrounding gun control can often be a personal one. In 2011, Jitka Vessel was gunned down in the Oakbrook Mall parking lot by a man who purchased a firearm through loopholes in the Illinois gun laws. Her friends Teresa O'Rourke and Amy Garcia are now gun legislation activists in her memory.
We've been friends for many years, and when she was killed last year in 2011, we had kind of decided when the time was right that we were going to start getting out there and educating people and letting them know about the realities of our gun laws.
After their friend's death, Amy and Teresa started working with the Illinois Council on Handgun Violence.
I also have a constitutional right to vote, but in order for me to exercise my right to vote, I have to become a registered voter. So to me, we can protect our rights under the Constitution, but our rights aren't limited. They do come with responsibility and with limits. And what we're asking for are reasonable limits.
But for Connie Rowe, being pro-gun isn't just a right, it's her livelihood. She's the owner of JR Shooting Sports in Aurora, where business is booming after the nation's renewed interest in gun control.
People need to protect themselves. You can sit around all day and wait for the police to come, but you need to be able to protect yourself. So people are scared they're going to be losing their gun rights, and they're not going to be able to protect themselves or their families.
Lawmakers are now focusing on tackling three main issues: closing the private seller and gun show loopholes, banning assault weapons, and prohibiting the sale of extended clips.
You're trying to pass laws against criminals or mental patients, and you're hurting the law-abiding citizen who's going about the right way, who's having the background check, who's doing everything that they need to do.
You can run away from somebody with a knife. You can fight off someone with a knife. You cannot, no one can, fight off a .40 caliber weapon. No one can run away from somebody who has a gun with the ability to shoot 100 rounds in less than a minute. No one.
Both sides can agree they're working toward a safer country for all, but the debate will continue over how exactly we get there. I'm Jordan Abudea for Naperville News 17.
President Barack Obama has appointed Vice President Joe Biden to lead a task force on gun violence to create concrete proposals for dealing with the issues. And Naperville is remembering the 20 students and 6 adults that were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary. Connecticut Governor Daniel Malloy declared Friday, November 21st as a day of mourning in his state and asked houses of worship and government buildings to ring their bells in honor of each life taken. And Naperville joined the cause. At 8:30 in the morning, Big Joe, the largest bell in the Carillon, sounded 26 times as a symbolic act to remember the lives lost on December 14th. Northern Illinois University fraternity members charged with deadly hazing are turning themselves in to police, including 3 from right here in Naperville. Pi Kappa Alpha President Alexander Jandick, event planner Stephen Leiber, and Alexander Wren are among the 22 fraternity members charged with felony hazing after taking part in a pledge event where freshman David Bogenberger died. His blood alcohol level was about 5 times the legal limit for driving. The students will appear in court on January 8th. Still to come, a big announcement to get rid of an eyesore in downtown Naperville.
Hey golfers, this is a great time to visit the Cantini Golf Academy in Wheaton, the region's foremost practice, teaching, and training center. Here, personal service meets state-of-the-art technology. We'll help you improve your game through PGA professional swing instruction, climate-controlled hitting bays, custom club fitting, golf fitness training, and even mental coaching. At the Cantini Golf Academy, we teach, we train, and you improve. year-round in any kind of weather. Visit cantinigolf.com.
We wanted to become customers at Naperville Bank and Trust because we wanted to have some sort of a community feel in our banking.
And we wanted to come someplace that really cherished their relationships and took the time to invest in us as customers rather than just as an account with money in it. It's very convenient for me to come to the downtown location. It's right in the center of town. We've got a great parking lot that's dedicated just to this bank as well as the post office nearby.
They can do everything that a big bank can.
And do it a little bit better.
The Water Street project will be heading back to council in the new year. City council members voted 6-3 to reverse their December 5th decision to send the controversial Water Street project back to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Some members didn't like the idea of circumventing the process in place.
As a community, we have done thoughtful development for decades, responsibly. Some people don't like certain aspects of it, and that's fine. But we've always followed a process.
This project has gone through Plan Commission twice. It's been very, very well vetted. There's been so much public comment on this, and so much of it so that we've actually had to have the public say, listen, if you're just going to repeat or corroborate someone else's feelings, you know, maybe take a pass.
The Water Street proposal is a plan for a hotel, a 550-space parking deck, and 75,000 square feet of retail space. It originally included a hotel building with a height of 80 feet that was met with a lot of opposition from residents and council. The new plans for the Water Street development will be presented at the January 15th meeting. North Central College and the City of Naperville are partnering to convert a downtown eyesore into a public park. The college purchased the land at 420 South Washington Street, a vacant one-story commercial building that has plagued the area adjacent to the Riverwalk for years. The new park will complement the two other recent public improvements on North Central's campus, the Riverwalk Gateway and the Sesquicentennial Walkway, and will create a new entryway into the college. At their latest meeting, the Naperville City Council unanimously voted to authorize City Manager Doug Krieger to award a contract to demolish the structure and release a $235,000 lien on the property. Mayor Pradle and North Central College President Hal Wilde got the chance to tear down the building at the meeting.
There was a final piece to our goals for 2011, 2012, the 150th anniversary of the college, and that was to get rid of the #1 eyesore in Naperville.
The building contains asbestos, so it will take longer to demolish. The city hopes to have it removed by mid-January. And at the same meeting, Dr. Wilde was honored with a proclamation for his dedication to North Central College and the city of Naperville.
Hal Wilde has sought to build the academic reputation of the programs of North Central College, resulting in a talented workforce of alumni who, as teachers, business leaders, communicators, scientists, coaches, and technical experts, are integral to our community.
Wilde is retiring after nearly 22 years as president of North Central. He and his wife Benna plan to live in Chicago. City Council also discussed funding for grants that help the less fortunate. The Community Block Development Grant and Social Services grants were part of a recent workshop. The Council deemed $50,000 be used for suicide and drug prevention, but Council now thinks there should be more money added to the total amount of social services grants.
You know, what's happened, you know, recently here in Newtown, Connecticut, and in our own community with our children, the deaths, it would I think a good argument can be made that more significant amount of money should be applied towards this.
The city hopes to increase the social services grant money from $250,000 to $550,000. A little rain didn't stop a local group from protesting the Walmart Corporation. Occupy Naperville recently protested in front of the store on Route 59. The group believes Walmart should be paying some of its workers more than the Illinois minimum wage of $8.25 per hour. Occupy Naperville peacefully protests at different locations every Saturday and is based on the popular Occupy Wall Street movement from 2011. There's more just ahead. District 204 considers boundary changes. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Promenade Bolingbrook.
Anchored by Macy's, Bass Pro Shop, and iPick Theaters, The Promenade Bolingbrook has more than 70 shops and 11 restaurants. There's something for everyone, from fashion trends to gifts for the outdoor enthusiast. Beginning November 10th, enjoy the Symphony and Light Show too. It's shopping, entertainment, and great restaurants. This holiday season, check out the Promenade Bolingbrook.
This fall, District 204 staff hired a firm to study the demographics among its many schools to get an idea of projected enrollment over the next 5 years. As a result, the district's considering some possible boundary changes. NCTV 17's Kevin Maychek has the details.
Following a recent demographic study, District 204 administrators propose moving 300 students from Collishaw, Longwood, and Young elementary schools to ease overcrowding. The students would be reassigned to Brookdale, Brooks, Owen, Steck, and White Eagle, with incoming 5th graders having the option to stay at their school. The measure would be effective for the 2013-2014 school year and only impact about 1.2% of the district's student population.
And that does not downplay the concerns that those particular parents may have. But I think, hopefully, we've built enough trust that they recognize that the schools that they'll be going to are strong schools.
Some parents of Young elementary school students welcome the changes, as it would mean there'd no longer be the need for a portable classroom that exists there now.
I would prefer all the kids to be in the same building instead of, in an outside mobile unit. I mean, I think they do what they can.
I think it's a great idea that we're redistricting. The school is definitely overcrowded.
At the middle school level, a small number of 6th graders would move from Granger to Hill and from Hill to Still, effective for the 2014 to 2015 school year. Superintendent Dr. Kathy Burkett says the district already has procedures in place should the school board approve these reassignments that would make transitioning as seamless as possible.
We already have dates set for meetings of the parents and students that are affected with the incoming, principal, the principal that they'll be joining, and the outgoing principal, and then visits to the schools. Because our main thing is that we want our students to be very, very comfortable.
The proposal doesn't call for any students at the district's 3 high schools to move. I'm Kevin Maychek for Naperville News 17.
The District 204 Board of Education expects to vote on the proposed changes at their January 14th meeting. Meanwhile, District 203 is working towards implementing all-day kindergarten at 7 of its schools. Superintendent Dan Bridges revealed plans at the latest school board meeting that would bring the program to Title I schools next August. Those are institutions that get extra money from the federal government to aid students who are behind academically or at risk of becoming so, and include Ellsworth, Beebe, Elmwood, Mill, River Woods, Scott, and Naper. Implementing the program in all schools would cost the district roughly $1.3 million. Of that, about $300,000 would go towards renovating Ellsworth next summer, and about $1 million towards an addition needed at Naper the following summer. A local teacher continues to make the grade. Josh Stumpenhorst, a language arts and social science teacher at Lincoln Junior High, was recently awarded the National Education Association's California Casualty Award for teaching excellence, one of the nation's most prestigious honors for public educators. Stumpenhorst will travel to schools in Brazil with the 37 other winners from across the country, attend the NEA Awards Gala in February, and receive prize money, which he plans on using for new gear for Lincoln's Computer Club.
It's not really about me, it's about the work that my kids do, because I can do all the things I can to create great plans and great lessons and great activities, but if I don't have students willing and parents and a great group of teachers around me, it really doesn't matter.
Stumpenhorst has also been recognized as an emerging leader by the International Society of Technology and Education, as well as being named the Illinois Education Association's Teacher of the Year, once in 2003 and again this year. A 2008 Neuqua Valley High School graduate shows fellow runners that with a little hard work, you can just do it. Chris Derrick recently came back to his hometown for the first time since signing with Nike back in October. Dozens of fans came to the Naperville Running Company to get an autograph and take a run with the professional runner.
This is just like my friends in my hometown, so very cool to be back here and the support of Naperville Running Company, who supported me all throughout high school and all that stuff. Yeah, the goal from here on out is just to keep trying to make U.S. teams and hopefully have those be Olympic teams as well. get better and better at competing at the international level.
Derek finished 4th in the men's 10,000-meter run at the Olympic trials, missing a spot on the U.S. men's track and field Olympic team by only 4 seconds. Still to come, a holiday light display with a special beat.
Loaves and Fish's Community Pantry provides more than food. We provide hope. With your help, we can provide food and hope to children, families, and seniors in need. Please visit us online to find out how you can join us in the fight to end hunger in our community. Loaves and Fishes, the power of community to change lives.
Students from Northern Illinois University were on a mission to get people fired up for their football team's trip to this year's Orange Bowl game. A group of a dozen students traveled from the Chicago Loop to Geneva, spreading NIU and holiday cheer. One of their stops was downtown Naperville, where they handed out oranges. Victory Husky, their mascot, was also on hand, posing for pictures and getting the town pumped up for the game.
Even people that aren't affiliated with the universities, hey, good luck, we're rooting for you.
The Huskies will be Miami-bound for the Bowl Championship Series game on January 1st against the Florida State Seminoles. Northern is making history, becoming the first Mid-American Conference team to play in a Bowl Championship Series game. This Christmas season, local police officers are giving back to the community by taking children in need on a holiday shopping spree to Target. Naperville's 4th annual Shop with a Cop event has helped more children than ever this year. 8 kids and 1 teen did their Christmas shopping alongside police officers. Some chose to use their $150 allowance on gifts for family members.
It's heartwarming when the kids actually think about others before themselves. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of toys in some of these carts.
The event was made possible through fundraising, but some officers took out their own wallets to help buy extra gifts. Overall, they spent about $1,600, making the season brighter for the 9 families. The Fraternal Order of Police will continue fundraising for next year's event. For more information, visit napervillefop.com. With the bulk of American commerce currently focused on Christmas, it's easy to forget that the holiday used to be much more low-key. Naples Settlement brought visitors back to the turn of the century with holiday-guided tours, outfitting the Martin Mitchell Mansion in era-specific Christmas decorations.
Back then, it was more of a religious holiday than it is today. It was more of something that was definitely family-oriented. It wasn't all about the gifts.
It's the 4th year that the settlement has offered the tours. The Martin Mitchell Mansion is on the National Register of Historic Places and was donated to the city of Naperville in 1936. One Naperville home is certainly in tune with the holiday spirit. The Marbach family decked their house with about 20,000 lights that flash and glow to the rhythm of popular Christmas music.
It's pretty amazing. I don't know how you match the lights to the sound. It's just incredible.
Claude Marbach spends 80 to 100 hours putting up the lights, which are then plugged into controllers, which are wired into a computer inside. Using special software, he can then program which lights go off at what times. A transmitter plays the music on an unused radio frequency so drivers passing by can hear the synchronized display in action. This is the family's 5th year in a row doing the light show, and they hope to make it even bigger and brighter next year. Still ahead, we'll have a look at local sports action, and a former Chicago Cub comes to Naperville.
It's time for holiday light tours on the Naperville Trolley. Reserve the heated Naperville trolleys for family, neighborhood, or office parties. Come aboard for holiday light tours on the Naperville Trolley.
As we celebrate our 25th anniversary, share in the memories and moments of Naperville Community Television, tuning into Naperville for 25 years.
NCTV is a community partner.
We were amazed at how many patients came in and said to him, hey, we saw you on Channel 17 last night.
NCTV provides an important, vital link between the people and this community.
This sports segment of Naperville News 17 is brought to you by Opal Enterprises Siding, Windows, and Roofing. Have a wonderful remodeling experience with Opal Enterprises.
The snow has finally arrived, but there are a few teams in the area that are already used to the winter elements, as the hockey teams from Neuqua Valley and Naperville North took to the ice at all seasons. Wildcats coming off 2 tough losses, while the Huskies come in winners of 4 straight. North carries that momentum into this one as Alex Palumpos goes far post after picking up the loose puck to open up the scoring. Same score in the second period till William Granado evens things up with the wrist shot for Neuqua. Paul Massetti could make a basket with this weave through the defense. The 5-hole shot regains the lead. Matthew Barnett shows he can take on the D by himself later in the period, and this one's turning out to be a back-and-forth battle. Still knotted at 2, Tyler Kahanen with moves that make you want to hit rewind. He finds Barnett, and the Wildcats take a lead. In the third period, Neuqua working the boards as Granado to Patrick O'Reilly puts the Cats ahead for good. They go on to win 5-2. There were warmer conditions inside Parkside Lanes in Aurora for an Upstate 8 girls bowling matchup with 2 teams hoping to climb the conference standings. Coach Vicky Ream and Mustang Jordan Newham facing off against Neuqua Valley. Newham in the third frame of Game 2 working the oil on the lanes for the strike. Then Tova Raymond follows suit. Both bowlers started off the game with a turkey, and Raymond finished with a 174. Alexa Caputa finds her stroke in Game 2 after a 147 in the first. The 245 pickup on her way to a 178. Wildcat Morgan Lantfit led Neuqua with a 475 series, showing why here with her 6-pin spare pickup. But Newham would have the high game, closing things out in a big way. Her turkey in the 10th gave her a 211. Add that to 203 and 194 for a 608 series total. Matia's Nikki Mendoza saved her best game for last. Her pin action here in the 6th frame helped her to a 193. But Raymond topped her by 6, getting the spare in the bonus ball in the 10th. She had a 554, and the Mustangs stay unbeaten in conference. And finally, the North Central College men's basketball team has used a great start to the season to move up the national rankings. Thanks to the program's second 9-0 start in history, they have moved up the ladder to number 3 by D3Hoops.com. North Central has outscored opponents by an average of more than 15 points per game and is one of 4 CCIW teams voted to the top 25. They joined 14th ranked Wheaton College, 17th ranked Illinois Wesleyan, and 22nd ranked Augustana College. There's a look at this week's sports action. Back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Mark. In his new book, former Chicago Cubs pitcher Kerry Wood shows kids that with a little hard work, you can achieve your dreams. Wood came to Anderson's bookshop to promote All You Can Be, learning and growing through sports. After signing autographs for fans, our own Becky Anderson sat down with Wood in this week's edition of Authors Revealed.
Welcome to Authors Revealed. I'm Becky Anderson. Okay, all you Cub fans out there, we have Kerry Wood with his first book for children. It's called All You Can Be, Growing and Learning Through Sports. Well, Kerry, welcome to Anderson's in Naperville.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, this is great to have you here, considering all the Cub fans and everything else, but also for this book. We're so excited for this book because I think it has an incredible message. But it's not only for playing games or playing sports, but it's also the game of life, I think, for showing kids a lot.
It is, and when I was approached to write to do the book, and I was curious myself how I was actually going to, if there was a message there that I could give. So as we started writing it and getting along, the message became pretty clear to me that there was a few different messages in there.
So what do you hope with the book that parents and kids will take away?
Just a positive story, no negative, no hidden agendas, it's just a story about hopefully somebody they watched on TV who they liked as a pitcher and as an athlete and as a person, and just read my story. I mean, it's not crazy, it doesn't go into too much detail, but I've got plenty of stuff that you can learn from. I mean, again, what it's like to be a good teammate, what it takes to be a good teammate, how to never give up, how to persevere, and how to battle through adversity when all but 2 people in the world are telling you can't do it.
Are you working on anything else with Carrie, or thinking about anything else? Because Triumph, you know, of course, is located right here in Chicago, and we would love to see some other stuff, whether it's for kids or adults.
Yeah, you know what? It's not.
I think you've got something that's working here.
I know
it's not.
It's not in the plan as of now.
Okay. Well, just think about it. As a bookseller, I'm telling you to think about it.
I will tell you that it was a positive experience. It was my first time writing a
great.
book, and I think the more I get kids involved, the more positive it'll be.
I want to know, this is getting back to your career. You know, when after 14 years in the major, obviously it was hard to say goodbye, you know, and that last game against the White Sox, you know, and that last strikeout. What was that feeling you had? And, you know, and the standing ovation by the crowd and your son running out to you.
You know, it was honestly, it had been, it was the biggest relief, because I knew that I didn't have to get ready tomorrow. I was dealing with a lot of pain. The body was just, it was time. And, you know, I embraced it. My son ran out. It was probably my single most favorite moment of baseball in my career. It just so happened the White Sox were in town, so Chicago was watching, and it just couldn't have worked out any better.
Well, Carrie, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you for bringing this book to us, because
thanks for having us.
I think any parent or any child who wants to get into sports just should get this book.
Well, great. Me too. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Wow, all you Cubs fan, it was Carrie Wood and his new children's book. It's called All You Can Be. Back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Becky. If you're interested in the full interview with Carrie Wood, visit our website at nctv17.com for a list of airtimes. And finally, a local church recently spread the gift of love. Grace United Methodist Church held their 2nd annual Christmas benefit concert. Special guests like the Chicago Symphony Civic Orchestra and gospel singer Cynthia Wilson joined the church's choirs. Mayor Pradle was even on hand and graced the stage with a reading of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer.
All proceeds from this year's concert will purchase 12,000 meals for Aurora-based Feed My Starving Children, helping feed hungry children around the world. Well, that's your news, Naperville. I'm Jen Hannon. Thanks for watching.
This Naperville News 17 is brought to you in part by Loaves and Fishes, the power of community changing lives, and by the Promenade Bolingbrook, and by Opal Enterprises Siding, Windows, and Roofing. Have a wonderful remodeling experience with Opal Enterprises, and by Naperville Bank and Trust, where you're always welcome, and by the Naperville Trolley for historical tours of Naperville, and by Cantini Golf Academy in Wheaton, a premier teaching, training, and practice center, and by Belgio's Catering. Be a guest at your own party. This program is partially funded by a grant from the City of Naperville.